It's never too late to get back on track with your goals. Every day is another opportunity to begin. Hi, I'm Jo Clark, and thanks so much for joining me today. This is the Redefining Midlife podcast, a podcast designed for the 40-plus woman who is determined to challenge society's myths and beliefs around midlife. It's for the woman who is inspired and ready to define midlife her way. Join me each week as I chat to health and wellness experts for up-to-date information on how to live well, as well as some special conversations with incredible everyday women redefining what midlife can look like. Here's to making our next half of life even better than the first. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Redefining Midlife. Whether you're a long-time listener or whether you're tuning in for the first time, I'm just so glad that you're here with me today. Now, I know so many of you are doing a lot, that you just don't feel like yourself anymore. You're busy with work and family, and you're tired, and it's pretty likely that you're also on a hormonal roller coaster. Now, if that sounds familiar, I'd love to personally invite you to a free live online workshop that I've created especially for women between the ages of 40 and 65. It's called How to Feel Like Yourself Again. And I'll be helping you to create your own wellness plan that supports you during this time of life, as well as sharing 3 essentials that all women who are 40 and over need to know. Now, a lot of what I'm covering in this workshop is what I shared with my paid clients, but I want more women to have access to this life-changing information. There are 2 workshops for you to choose from, one on Thursday the 30th of May, and the other one's on Friday the 31st of May. Just head to joclarkcoaching.com/workshop to register. Now, if you can't make either workshop, you can still register and I'll send you the recording afterwards. I also have a special bonus on the power of microhabits that's only going to be available for those who turn up live. Again, you can register at joclarkcoaching.com/workshop. I'd really love to see you there. Now, on to today's episode. We're going to be diving into a mid-year review of our goals and our intentions that we set at the start of the year. It really is hard to believe that we're almost at the halfway mark of the year. So now is the perfect time just to pause and reflect on the progress that we've made towards our goals. There's probably a very high chance that many of us may not be on track with reaching those goals right now. Because here's a reality check. Did you know that by the middle of the year, only about 46% of people feel like they're on the right track to achieve their New Year's resolutions or goals? That actually means that more than half of us might be feeling a bit off course. And that's okay. Today, we're going to explore 3 key takeaways to help you get back on track and to make the most of the rest of the year. First up is getting honest with yourself and having an insightful and a meaningful review. As I'd say to my kids, take a good hard look at yourself. And that's easy when you're nailing your goals, but it's not so comfortable if you haven't made any great progress. This is all about getting real with yourself and having a meaningful review of the past 6 months. So just take some time to sit down and think about your achievements and the challenges that you've faced. Now, why is this important? Well, because honesty with yourself is really that first step towards growth. By understanding what worked and what didn't, you can make informed decisions moving forward. I like to reflect on my own key achievements since the beginning of the year. Now, you can include what you're proud of, any milestones that you've hit, of what you've learned, what might have given you joy, and what you're grateful for. Then you can reflect on the challenges. What obstacles came up? How did you handle them? Then just revisit your goals. What have you made progress on? Make sure you celebrate those wins, no matter how small they might be. And if you haven't progressed as far as you would have hoped, then ask yourself why. So, for example, was it a lack of time, a lack of interest, or maybe resources? Sometimes we just need to reassess our goals. Maybe some of them don't align with us anymore, with our current needs or dreams. It's perfectly fine to change, modify, or even let go of certain goals. This isn't about giving up. It's about evolving and staying true to what's important to you now. So here's an example of a review. Let's say at the beginning of the year, you started a new fitness routine and you were able to consistently exercise 3 times a week for the first 3 months. Then came a challenge. Perhaps you had a minor injury that set you back, and since then you've really struggled to get back into the routine. Now here's the reflection. Just acknowledge your effort and improvement in your physical health before the injury, and reassess your fitness goals to include recovery and lighter exercises. So, why is this important? Well, as I said in last week's episode, there is no one-size-fits-all or cookie-cutter solution to our health and our wellness. Now, during the monthly coaching calls in my Better Than Before membership, every single member, including me, reviews their wellness goals. Every one of us have got different lifestyles, different health needs, work and family pressures. Sometimes the biggest achievement we have is just getting through the week or the month. Other times it can be smooth sailing. Life happens, and we know that, and that's okay. We have to accept it. But our goals are still inside, and they may or may not be modified. But having these monthly reviews really helps all of us to stay on track. So to help you get started with your own review, you can ask yourself these 3 questions. What have I achieved so far? What challenges have I encountered? And do my current goals still resonate with my values and my aspirations? Now let's talk about the planning and support framework. This is all about breaking down your dreams, your goals and intentions into easy, bite-sized, actionable steps and integrating these into your day. By doing this, you're continually making progress towards your goal. When you break your goals into smaller, manageable tasks, it really does make them less overwhelming and much easier to tackle. It helps to create a daily or weekly plan that includes these tasks. And doing this not only helps keep you organised, but it also helps you to track your progress. Having a basic framework to support you as you implement your goals will increase your chances of success. It's like having a roadmap to help guide you. And another tip, don't underestimate the power of having a support system. Surround yourself with people who encourage and support you. There really is nothing better than having accountability partners or groups that can provide you with motivation, who can share valuable insights and celebrate your successes with you. I'll use a Better Than Before membership as an example of how this can work. Every member is there because they have the same big overarching goal, and that is to improve their health and wellness for today and for their future. And that's going to look different for everybody. As I said earlier, every woman will create her own individual wellness goals. I provide the BTB members with an easy-to-use framework to help them create their own wellness plans or wellness menu. Now, every woman's plan is going to look different because she chooses her goal or goals to suit her needs. And there's a lot of support with planning sessions as well as resources like monthly and weekly planning guides. And there are also some goal trackers to help everyone stay on course. And then, of course, we've got the support of each other with our monthly coaching calls, a Facebook group, and an online chat thread. The women access exactly whatever support they might need at the time, but they know that there's always going to be someone to cheer them on or support them if things get hard. Now, here's an example that might help to show you how you could use this with a different type of goal. Perhaps if your goal was to read 12 books by the end of the year, but you've only read 1. Maybe you can aim to read at least 1 book a month for the rest of the year, and then you're going to get closer to your goal. You could break it down even further into reading a certain amount of pages or chapters daily or weekly. Or maybe you could dedicate 20 minutes to reading before bed or read a chapter before you start the day. You could join a book club or an online reading group for motivation and discussion. There's lots of different options available to you. So go through that and have a look at your goals and see if you can adjust and use a framework and some support around you achieving your goals. By having all of these different things in place, you're going to have far more success in reaching these goals. Lastly, let's just focus on creating the right mindset for success. Now, we're all guilty of having thoughts that can sabotage our goals. It's very easy to talk ourselves out of doing something, particularly if it's new or if it's difficult, or if it's something that we don't really enjoy all that much. Again, I'll use myself as an example. I can quite easily talk myself out of going for a walk on a cold day. Those thoughts are right there at an instant. The challenge for me is to talk myself into actually getting my shoes on and walking out that door, because I know I'm going to feel so much better when I get back. So think about how your mindset and how your thoughts may have sabotaged your goals or at least made them harder for you to achieve. Your mindset really does play a crucial role in how you navigate challenges and adapt to changes. Here are some easy techniques for cultivating the right mindset. Positive affirmations. Just start your day with some positive affirmations that boost your confidence and keep you focused. There's all sorts of affirmations that you can up with. That could be something like, I'm capable of achieving my goals, or I'm making progress every day. Find one that works for you. Write it down and place it where you can see it regularly. Then there's also mindfulness and meditation. Now, these practices can help you stay present, they can reduce your stress, and they help you to maintain a balanced perspective. Perhaps you could add a 10-minute morning meditation practice just to center yourself and use guided meditation apps to help you stay consistent. And then have a growth mindset. This is a big one for me. It's something I've spoken about before. Embrace a growth mindset where you see challenges as opportunities to learn and grows rather than obstacles. So, for example, when you're faced with setbacks, just remind yourself that every challenge is an opportunity to learn. So, for instance, if you missed a goal deadline, reflect on what you learned about time management and how you can improve next time. Remember, it's not just about reaching your goals, but also about enjoying the journey and growing along the way. The highlight is who you become as you work towards your goal. So be kind to yourself, stay flexible, and be open to adjusting your path if and when it's needed. Now, as we wrap up today's episode, I just want to remind you it's never too late to get back on track with your goals. Every day is another opportunity to begin. Reflect honestly on your progress, create yourself a solid plan, and cultivate that positive mindset. And most importantly, surround yourself with a supportive community or a person who's going to uplift and inspire you. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that this has helped you to rethink and restart your goals. Before I go, just another quick reminder that if you'd like to take advantage of the free workshop, How to Feel Like Yourself Again, you can register at joeclarkcoaching.com/workshop. I'd really love to see you there. So take care until next week's episode. Thanks so much for listening and sharing your time with me today. I'd love you to hit subscribe on Apple Podcast or your favourite podcast app to keep spreading these empowering messages. Please share this podcast with other incredible midlife women in your world. Join me again next week for another redefining midlife conversation. Thanks again for tuning in.